going to be doing Philly cheesesteak 3 ways, wonton, egg roll, and fried burrito. I also did a salmon version for people who are seafood eaters or don't eat red meats. So here's we're going to start with our ingredients over here. We have bell pepper and onion, mushrooms. I love jalapenos and banana peppers. Got our seasoning, cheese. This is mozzarella and a provolone mix. Got cream cheese, and we have Velveeta cheese. That's just what I like. I cheated a little bit. I got some already seasoned and cooked. I already got this already seasoned cooked steak meat. Got my A1 sauce. You need your egg for your binder, and my sauce today will be a chipotle mayo. What we're gonna do first is come over to the stove and cook our veggies. You can use olive oil or butter, doesn't matter. Whatever you like. Olive oil is healthier, of course. Let that heat up a little. We're going to add our bell pepper, our onion, our mushrooms, the hot peppers if that's what you like. We're going to saute that up. Now, being that I already have a seasoned meat, the perfect meat for Philly cheesesteak is ribeye steak or chicken or shrimp or seafood, crab, salmon, something like that. But if you're doing your meat from scratch, I would use a Montreal steak seasoning or garlic, salt, pepper, garlic, onion powder, ranch powder, whatever seasonings you prefer. I just mixed a little bit of those up and put them on my vegetables. I don't need much because like I said, my meat is already seasoned. Now at the same time in our other pot, our other pan, we cut that on low. I am going to spray this one too and use the olive oil on this one for the already cooked meat. Just want to get a little heated up because when we mix our cheese in, we want it to melt right on up. And this is a good quality meat. Sometimes you can find it in your grocery store. If not, then start from scratch. Now, while both of those are cooking, I'm just going to crack my eggs, and that's going to be the binder. I'm going to be binding all these together. I do a little cracked egg and hot sauce, but you can do cracked egg and water, up to you. Make sure you mix the eggs up. Right, our vegetables are coming along. Give our meat a little toss. Now, like I said, this is already done meat, so you don't have to cook it long. I just wanted to get a little warmth on it. And don't forget, we'll be cooking this again. I just want that cheese to melt. I just flip that a couple times. That meat to heat up. And take this meat. I gotta drain it a little bit because water came out with it. I don't want that water. Okay. We're gonna put our meat in our bowl. Add our veggies to that. We're going to give that a quick toss. I wish I could smell it. I know they always say that in culinary shows. It's the truth. Now, my little secret, little A1 sauce. All our cheeses in. Gotta stir that up. Let that heat get on that cheese so it can start melting. Hands on, girl, so I'm gonna have to get in here. And it's a little warm, so I'm on double glove. That cheese gotta get melted. Now, this is the same ingredient you could use with any variation of the other meats I explained. You're going to do it the same way, you'll just be changing your meat. Oh yeah. And that's what you want. You want all that cheese melted and incorporated in there. And that's how you want it to look right here. Change my gloves again and we'll get into the wontons. Get your wontons at your regular grocery store. Maybe in the Asian section. If not, just ask somebody in the grocery store. They have wonton wraps, egg roll wraps. They can be used for both. These are our wonton wraps. So I said we'll be making this 3 ways. So, I'm going to take you some parchment paper. I'm going to take your wonton. Now there's no really technically wrong way on the design of how you want to fold your wonton. There's all kind of ways. You can go straight across, circle. I'm going to show you. Okay. So now I'm taking that egg wash and hot sauce mixture and I'm just going to brush all the sides with it. Then you want to take some of your filling, and you don't need much because these are small. I'm going to get about that much. Make sure I get a pepper in there. And you're going to take this wrapper and the wet side that you put, you're going to face it down on the meat. And now we're going to pinch whatever design you want. I'll show you a couple. This more looks like the ravioli style when you do it this way. You got this way. There's one. And also do a circle. Oh, sorry, flip that over. To do the circle, you're going to pinch and roll. Pinch and roll, just like you do pie. Pinch, roll, pinch, roll. Hope y'all can see that good. Pinch and roll, pinch and roll. That's another form. You got your square, you got your circle, or you got this one, it's the double. You can always just use 1, 2, and just flip it over and pinch. Like I said, there's no wrong way to do it. You got 1, you got 2, you got 3. And this one I'm just going to flip and fold. Like I said, there's no wrong way. As long as you keep all that good filling in there when you go to fry it. Fold that one the other way. This one. Like I said, no wrong way to do it. Just get it in there. Now I'm going to show you how I do the egg rolls. You're gonna need 2 of them, 2 or 3, depending on how big you want your egg rolls. Gonna brush them sides. Now this time you will have to overlap it, unless you bought the larger egg roll shells. But if you just got these small wontons, you can still change these into egg rolls. I'm gonna come through, get your meat. Gonna make a skinny little meat section. Just remember, we have to roll this. Now we're gonna flip it over and tuck. Flip it over and tuck and roll. Tuck and roll. Tuck and roll. Now I pinch my sides and I push them in. Pinch the side and push it in. And there you have, that's your egg roll style. Now we're going to do the burrito. So now you got your wontons, that's one way. You got your egg rolls, that's 2 way. And now we'll show you the burrito, which is your 3rd way of doing the Philly cheese. I'm going to take my 10-inch tortilla shell. The rolling will be a little bit different this time. I'm going to put my meat just like this, whichever way you're going to fold and roll it first. Now you can stuff this a little heavy if you like, because it has a bigger shell to wrap. So what you're going to do is you're going to fold it in the 2 sides. Flip the bottom, tuck. I like to pinch those extra sides in and roll. I'll do another one for you to show you. But this is your Philly cheesesteak 3 ways. Wonton, egg roll, fried burrito. I'll show you that fried burrito one more time. And then we're going to fry one. We're going to fry this one. Take our meat again. And also you can use this filling to make you some loaded fries or loaded baked potato. So the sides in again, tuck the bottom, tuck, pinch the two sides, and roll. And there you have it. Now we're gonna go over here and we're gonna fry these bad boys. We fry everything in soy oil here. So I'm gonna put in my burritos, and so they don't float away too much or break apart, I'll put the other fryer on top, and we're gonna fry that just till it gets golden brown. Make sure you have really fresh grease. Check on. Need a little bit more golden brown. And there we have your fried Philly cheesesteak burrito. Now you can stick a toothpick in there when you're frying it so they don't come apart like that. That's just a tidbit. Then you follow me over here, you'll see the whole complete finished product. We got your wontons, your fried burritos, and your egg roll. Philly cheesesteak 3 ways. I hope you enjoyed the video today. It's been a pleasure. We'll see you next time. Hello, this is Chef Destiny and Chef Aysa with the Harry G. Darnell facility. And today is our Cooking and Learning with Care segment. And we'll be going over a couple items for you. Hope you enjoy. Aysa, take it away.
Alright, today we're going to be making rice pudding. The ingredients that you need for this dish are going to be cinnamon, vanilla, dark vanilla. You're going to need some brown sugar, white sugar, some water, some salt, some rice. I prefer white rice, but you can try any type of rice that you want. This is a parboiled white rice. I'm going to be using a little bit of heavy cream and some condensed milk. Now there's no measurements that I'm using for this rice pudding. This is a stovetop rice pudding. It is not being baked. And so you're going to use what you like. If you like it to be cinnamony, it's going to be cinnamony. If you like it to have a lot of vanilla, it's going to have a lot of vanilla. Alright, so first thing we're going to do is we have to wash off our rice. You have to get the impurities out of your rice. I try to soak my rice for at least 5 minutes before I make this rice pudding. I feel like it produces a softer, pillowy-like rice. Now, if you don't want to wash your rice, please don't wash your rice. But for this recipe, I feel like it's good for you to wash it. Okay? So that cloudy color is what we are looking to drain off. And I have washed this rice about 20 times, about 10 minutes. I have washed this rice. Okay. Now it can be a little bit of water in the bowl, but you don't want it to be a lot of water. All right. So we are going to go to the stove. And we're going to use butter. And we're going to melt the butter. To that butter, we're going to add our cinnamon. And we're going to add our sugar. Now remember, I'm cooking for my taste. Now I'm going to add brown sugar. I'm going to brown the brown sugar. I'm not really sure what the technical word would be, maybe caramel it. But we're not really carameling it to the real definition of carameling. But we're just going to brown the sugar. When you do this, you need to make sure that you stir it constantly. Sugar burns very quickly, and burnt sugar is it's not a good taste. So please make sure you brown your sugar in your fat, which I'm using butter. And you want it to brown for at least a good 1 to 2 minutes. After it has browned for 1 to 2 minutes, you're then going to add your vanilla. And you know, vanilla has alcohol in it, so it's going to boil it a little bit more. And then you're going to stir that and let that brown for another 1 to 2 minutes. Now to that, I am going to add my rice. I'm taking it out in clumps because I really want to make sure I have none of that extra water in my rice. Okay. And after I put all of my rice into this browning sugar, cinnamon, and vanilla mixture, we're going to saute that rice for about another 5 to 2 minutes. Okay. So we're going to saute this rice in this brown sugar, vanilla, cinnamon mixture for another 5 to 10 minutes. Now this rice pudding, this stovetop rice pudding, it takes a long time. It takes about 2 to 2.5 hours to make, to get the consistency that I prefer. So you need some patience when you're making this dish because you're doing a lot of stirring. So our rice has been sitting in the butter, brown sugar, vanilla, cinnamon mixture. We're going to turn our heat down a little bit for about 5 to 10 minutes. We're then going to add some cream, heavy cream. If you don't have heavy cream, you can use milk. If you don't have milk, you can use half and half. Alright? And we're going to use some canned condensed milk. If you don't want to use the canned condensed milk, then please take it out. But this is how we do it. So once you've added a splash of cream and a splash of canned milk to your rice, we are going to keep stirring because remember, we do not want that sugar to burn. We don't want the taste of burned sugar. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to get all of the moisture out of this rice without having it burn. It's similar to that of maybe of a risotto. If y'all are familiar with that process. We're going to add, while this simmers, we're trying to get the moisture out. But when it gets too dry, for example, if it looks like this, this is too dry. So we want to keep it moist like this, but not dry like this. And to this, you're going to keep adding water and little bits and pieces until you get to a nice, smooth pudding texture. But remember, we don't want it to get dry. We don't want it to burn the pan because it does have sugar and no one wants the taste of burnt sugar. So we're just doing that. We add a little water. Okay. Now, you're going to keep stirring, adding water, drying it out, stirring, adding water, drying it out for at least a good hour. Okay? But for at least a good hour, you're going to be checking your flavors. If you want to add more brown sugar, you add more brown sugar. If you want to add more white sugar, you add more white sugar. This is your pudding. When it's almost done, that is when we add our raisins. And raisins are optional, but that's how we do it in my house. And you know raisins have sugar, so we don't want those sugars and the raisins to burn either. So after you've added your raisins, this is a trick that we do. We turn off the flame. You get a plastic bag or some saran wrap and you lay it on top of the rice pudding. Turn off the flame and then you cover that with the lid. And that way it's nice and warm, it stays moist, but it's not cooking. Alright, I'm going to show you the finished product of this rice pudding. Alright, so this is what I mean by the covering. We have our plastic to keep our rice pudding nice and moist so that it is not dried out. Now some people use eggs, some people don't. We don't use eggs. My family member who gave me this, they were from Haiti, and this is how they do a Haitian style, and this is how we've been doing it ever since. And here you have a nice set rice pudding. You can tell the raisins are moist because they're plumped up, and it's delicious. All right, John.